Hari Hari Bo. Srimad Abhay Charanarinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. Thank you all the devotees joining today. Today is the long weekend, Independence Day. So it's so-called independence. Nobody is independent. Everybody is bound to this material world. You maybe say that okay, we are independent of this. Maybe one ruling to another ruling. So where is the real independence? There is no real independence. So it says that wine from one bottle to another bottle, right? Water from one place to another place, so one administration to another administration, so one ruling to another ruling. Yeah, we can say that yes, this is our people or our own country, our people is ruling. Basically, it is all bondage, one way or other. But think about this, Srila Prabhupada brought this beautiful organization, the movement which is called the Krishna conscious movement. This is no caste, no creed, no religion, no country. Everybody in this world, including the even lower species of living entities, are bringing together in a one family. So Srila Prabhupada says always that everybody I am building this home, so everybody can live very harmoniously, very peacefully, very happily. This is Krishna conscious. This is International Society for Krishna Consciousness. So unless and until we have that understanding and realization, we cannot say that we are really independent. So we are, instead of celebrating this independency, what we are trying to do, we are creating more bondage. Yes, we celebrate in so-called way, but actually we are getting into more bondage of this material world. The real independence is to cut that bondage from this material world. That's why this beautiful temple, this beautiful association, the beautiful Sangha, all we have is for that purpose, so that we can cut this bondage from this material world. That's the real independence. That again, we are completely dependent upon the Supreme Lord. Independence of this Maya, that's our freedom from the Maya, is the ultimate goal of our human form of life. So it's very important to realize this, understand this, engage ourselves into that process of how we can cut this dependency from this material world. So we'll begin with this verse. So last week it was which verse was it? 8 or 9? It says
7.
7, okay? 7, 8, okay. So please fold your hands. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam Namaskrityam
Narayanam Namaskrityam
Naram Chaiva
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Tado Jayamudiraye
Tato Jayamudiraye
Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu
Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Bhagavati Uttama Sloke
Bhagavati Uttama Shloke
Bhaktir Bhakti Naishtikim.
Bhaktir Bhakti Nashtakim.
So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd Canto, chapter 27, verse number 8. Canto 3, chapter 27, verse 8. Yadrichayopalabdena
Yadrachyopalabdhena
Santushto mitabhum munihi
Santushto mitabhun munihi
Vivikta sarana santo
Vivikta sharana shanto
Maitra karuna atmava
Maitraha karuna atmava
Yadrichayopalabdena
Yadrichayopalabdhena
Santushto mitabhum munihi
Santushto mitabhun munihi
Vivikta sarana santo
Vivikta sharana shanto
Maitra karuna atmava
Maitreya karuna atmava
Yadrichayopalabdhena
Yadrichayopalabdhena
Santushto mitabhum munihi
Santushto mitabhun munihi
Vivikta sarana santo
Vivikta sharana shanto
Maitra karuna atmava
Mitraha karuna atmava
Please recite.
Yadrichayopalabdhena
Yadrichayopalabdhena
Santushto mitabhun munihi
Santushto mitabhum munihi
Vivikta sharana shanto
Vivikta sarana santo
Mitraha karuna atmava
Maitraha karuna atmavan. So we'll go word by word meaning. Yadrichaya,
Yadrichaya
without difficulty.
without difficulty
Upalabdhena,
Uplabdhena
with what is obtained.
with what is obtained
Santushtaha,
Santushtaha
satisfied.
satisfied
Mita,
Mita
little.
little
Bhog,
Bhog
eating.
eating
Munihi,
Munihi
thoughtful.
thoughtful
Vivikta saranaha,
Vivikta sharanaha
living in secluded place.
living in a secluded place
Shantaha,
Shantaha
peaceful.
peaceful
Maitraha,
Maitraha
friendly.
Karunaha
Karunaha, compassionate.
compassionate
Atmavan,
Atmavan
self-possessed, self-realized.
self-possessed self-realized
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace is Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Gopal Ki.
joy
Translation. Please repeat after me. For his income, a devotee
for his income a devotee
should be satisfied with
should be satisfied with
what he earns without great difficulty.
what he earns without great difficulty.
He should not eat more than what is necessary.
He should not eat more than what is necessary.
He should live in a secluded place
He should live in a secluded place
and always be thoughtful,
and always be thoughtful,
peaceful,
peaceful,
friendly, compassionate,
compassionate,
and
and
self-realized.
self-realized.
Perfect. Everyone who has accepted a material body must maintain the necessities of the body by acting or earning some livelihood. A devotee should only work for such income as is absolutely necessary. He should be satisfied always with such income and should not endeavor to earn more and more simply to accumulate the unnecessary. A person in the conditioned state who has no money is always found working very hard to earn some with the object of lording it over material nature. Kapaladev instructs that we should not endeavor hard for things which may come automatically without extraneous labor. The exact word used in this connection, yadrichaya, means that every living entity has a predestined happiness and distress in his present body. This is called the law of karma. It is not possible that simply by endeavors to accumulate more money, a person will be able to do so. Otherwise, almost everyone would be on the same level of wealth. In reality, everyone is remaining and everyone is earning and acquiring according to his predestined karma. According to the Bhagavatam conclusion, we are sometimes faced with dangerous or miserable conditions without endeavoring for them. And similarly, we may have prosperous conditions without endeavoring for them. We are advised to let these things come as predestined. We should engage our valuable time in prosecuting Krishna consciousness. In other words, one should be satisfied by his natural condition. If by predestination one is to put into a certain condition of life which is not very prosperous in comparison to another's position, one should not be disturbed. He should simply try to utilize his valuable time to advance in Krishna consciousness. Advancement in Krishna consciousness does not depend on any materially prosperous or distress condition. It is free from the conditions imposed by material life. A very poor man can execute Krishna consciousness as effectively as a very rich man. One should therefore be very satisfied with his position as offered by the Lord. Another word here is midabhuk. This means that one should eat only as much as necessary to maintain the body and soul together. One should not be gluttonous to satisfy the tongue. Grains, fruits, milk and similar foods are allotted for human consumption. One should not excessively eager to satisfy the tongue and eat that which is not meant for humanity. Particularly, a devotee should eat only prasada or food which is offered to the personality of Godhead. His position is to accept the remnants of those foodstuffs, innocent foods like grains, vegetables, fruits, flowers, and milk preparations are offered to the Lord. And therefore, there is no scope for offering foods which are in the mode of passion and ignorance. A devotee should not be greedy. It is also recommended that the devotee should be a muni or thoughtful. He should always think of Krishna and how to render better service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That should be his only anxiety. As a man, as a materialist, he is always thoughtful about improving his material condition. A devotee's thoughts should always be engaged in improving his condition in Krishna consciousness. Therefore, he should be a muni. The next item recommended is that a devotee should live in a secluded place. Generally, a common man is interested in pounds, shillings, and pence, or materialistic advancement in life, which is unnecessary for a devotee. A devotee should select a place of residence where everyone is interested in devotional service. Generally, therefore, a devotee goes to a sacred place of pilgrimage where devotees live. It is recommended that he lives in a place where there is no large number of ordinary men. It is very important to live in a secluded place, Vivikta Sharana. The next item is Shanda or peacefulness. The devotee should not be agitated. He should be satisfied with his natural income. He only has the chance needs to keep his health, live in a secluded place and always remain peaceful. Peace of mind is necessary for prosecuting Krishna consciousness. The next item is Maitra, friendliness. A devotee should be friendly to everyone. But his intimate friendship should be with the devotees only. With others, he should be official. He may say, "Yes, sir, what you say is all right," but he is not intimate with them. A devotee should, however, have compassion for a person who is innocent, who are neither atheistic nor very much advanced in spiritual realization. A devotee should be compassionate towards them and instruct them as far as possible in making advancement in Krishna consciousness. A devotee should always remain Atmavan or situated in his spiritual position. He should not forget that his main concern is to make advancement in spiritual consciousness or Krishna consciousness. And he should not ignorantly identify himself with the body or the mind. Atma means the body or the mind. But here the word Atmavan especially means that one should be self-possessed. He should always remain in the pure consciousness that he is spirit, soul and not the material body or mind. That will make him progress confidently in Krishna consciousness. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupagatamaham Dadati Supadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Yudapadakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajadam Sahagana Raghunathanidam Tam Sajivam Sadvaidam Savadudam Parijana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalitam Shri Vishakhanidamsya. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dhinabandhu Jagatpade Gopesha Gopika Kanda Radha Kanda Namostude Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhano Sudhe Devi Pranavami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarupasya Kripa Sindhubhye Vacha पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते लोकनाथ स्वामी नामिने। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। हरि ओम तत्सत। Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So for me, for devotees, it's a very auspicious day. Today and tomorrow is because of my Guru Maharaj's Vyasa Puja, the appearance day. So
Today.
Today is the born on July 5th. Tomorrow is Ashadi Ekadashi Tithi.
That's a party. That's a party.
Yes. So it's so nice. So we are all here. And yesterday night I was also with the Vyasa Puja offering was going on, and I was also become part of it by mercy of my Gurudev. Was able to speak a little bit about the glorification and devotees association. And so when we come to real understanding of our existence, then Guru Tattva is very important. Unless we understand Guru Tattva, we cannot understand Krishna Tattva. It's very important. So Guru Tattva is very deep. In one sense, in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, in the first chapter, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami mentioned that the Guru, or Guru Tattva, Guru as we say, is part of Krishna. So there are 6 features of the Supreme Lord. Out of the 6 features of the Supreme Lord, Guru and Isha, the word which used Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, Guru, Isha. Guru are part of Krishna. So there are, how many types of Gurus are there? How many types of Gurus? Diksha Guru, Shiksha Guru, and Pada Pradakshana Guru, and Chaitya Guru. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami also mentioned this one. That same super soul, Krishna, who is seated in the heart, is the Guru which is within, internal Guru, or internally the Lord manifests in our heart as Chaitya Guru. That same Guru, that same Krishna manifests externally as our Diksha Guru or Shiksha Guru, one who gives instructions. So for what? For our benefits. For our benefits. So what is the Guru means? What is Guru means? What is the word Guru mean? Heavy. There is a one word of it. Heavy. Guru means very heavy. And what is literal meaning of Gu and Ru? What is the literal meaning? Gu means the one who eliminates, to take out. Ra means Andhakar, Ratri, Andhakar. So one who removes the Andhakar, one who removes the ignorance from our heart, one who removes the ignorance from our existence is called Guru. So the real understanding, the real knowledge is, there are 2 kinds of knowledge, Jnana and Vijnana. Right? 2 kinds of knowledge. We say Jnana or Vijnana. So Jnana is the knowledge which is in relationship with the Krishna, our identity as well as the relationship, that the supreme identity, and what is the relationship between that Krishna, the Jiva and the Supreme Soul. This is called knowledge generally. Right? The knowledge. That's why the word word is actually also knowledge. Jnana, knowledge. Ved is knowledge. It's come from the root word called Vid. That's why the Ved is all knowledge. So what is Veda means? Knowledge. What is that? That's the real knowledge, that the relationship between the individual soul and the Supreme Soul, the Paramatma, and the relationship between. This is the real knowledge. Then Rupa Goswami says one important aspect of it. What is the root cause of our suffering? Everybody knows what is the root cause of our suffering? Ignorance. A root cause of our suffering is ignorance. So the Guru, one who removes the darkness, one who removes that ignorance of our heart, is Guru. He gives the light, he gives the knowledge, he gives enlightenment. He is known as Guru. So there is a Guru Purnima is coming on next Thursday, July 10th. It's called Vyasa Purnima, Guru Purnima. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, the Uddhava is speaking, Krishna is speaking to Uddhava. There are 24 Gurus. Krishna is revealing about 24 Gurus to Uddhava. It's very beautiful. Some way or other we have a Guru in our life. And some way or other we learn out of it from that. Here in the Srimad Bhagavatam, a pigeon is a Guru for a Brahman. A pigeon. A mountain is a Guru. The sky is a Guru. The wind is a Guru. For everything we are learning out of it, I mean, eradicate that ignorance from our heart. A girl is a Guru. Because of the girl is teaching us. A beautiful story, Krishna is saying that. One time there was a girl and nobody was in the house. So then few people came to see her and asked to get married. So nobody was there. So she wanted to behave in such a way that she was grinding the grains. So she was making, it was mortar, it's a what is called a manual mortar. So she was grinding it like this manually. So she heard there some bangles on her hands. So these bangles were making the noise, and she thought if that make noise keep going, then they will think that there is not much here, things are not here. So, what she did that she just removed the bangles from her hands. So now it is very silent. So the lessons from it is actually, is there is anything that which makes noise in our life is not helping in our Krishna consciousness, we should remove it from our life. This is exactly, there are so much of teachings which Guru reveals to us. In so many ways we are learning from a child takes birth in this world. So he is learning every moment from this nature, from this world. And he is accumulating the knowledge. So, root cause of our suffering in this world is ignorance. And Guru Sangari clearly mentioned that. Why we are ignorant? Why we are ignorant in this world? Why we are ignorant? Because of our attachment. Attachment to this material world is our greatest ignorance. So it develops that ignorance, attachment. See, there is a verse, beautiful verse in the Bhagavad Gita, where it's all come from. In chapter 2, verse number 62. Dhyayade Vishayan Pumsa Sangaste Shubhajayade Sangayade Kama Kama Krodha Vijayade Krodha Bhavadi Samoha Samoha Smriti Vibrahma Siddhi Vibrahma Buddhi Nasho Pranakshari. See that? All these are very much related. Wonder. Dhyayado Vishayan Pumsa. Dhyayado Vishayan, while contemplating the object of senses, person of attachment to it. And when what happens from the attachment, what happens? Lust arises, incessant desires of this material desires. Bhayado Vishayan Pumsa Sangaste Shupadayade, develop the attachment. To the attachment, lust arises, and if the lust is not satisfied, what actually happens? Anger arises. From the anger, what has happened? Delusion of memory. The moment you, and first of all, anger is actually a complete forgetfulness anyway. Complete forgetfulness. Our brain is completely dead that time. You don't know what you are doing. Intelligence doesn't work that time. So that's why memory is lost. Then memory is lost, then intelligence is lost. Then intelligence is lost completely. Now I was reading a story in Delhi. One person, he bought a new car. It's a very car, and then he invited his friends. They were just everybody in the car, they just going around and showing everybody that I got a new car, brand new car. There was an old man who was coming with a scooter. So back it was like a moped or something like that. Somehow, because they were very crazy, they were driving here and there. Somehow they hit to the car, to the scooter. The person and fall down. And these people, they were also drunk. They did drunk and they came out. They saw that some damage happened to the car. This person, this owner, couldn't tolerate that. So angry. So angry, and then there was a quarrel, and then this is, push between that there. And he had a gun, and he took the gun and shot him down and shot him down. Right there, it was a news. Think about it. This is exactly we are all going through in our life. We may not take the gun, but we may take something else. Right? Sometimes we take our hands, we may take something, or we use our tongue as such a weapon, right? The tongue is the most dangerous weapon than any other weapon in this world. It's very clear. Use, abuse of bad words, so much of things, and we completely forget. So this is a condition. Attachment, delusion of memory is bewildered, intelligence is lost. Then what happens? Intelligence is lost, we fall down in this material world. So where the attachment takes us. Attachment leads to the ignorance of suffering in this world. That's why the very important to understand the proper knowledge, the real knowledge. So knowledge is Veda. So what is this? Bhagavad Gita is what? Is a part of Veda. This is known as Srimad Bhagavatam is this Vedanta Sutra. This is the expansion, this is the essence of Vedanta Sutra, Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita is part of Veda, which is called Gita Upanishad. Upanishad is part of Veda. So we are listening and understanding the real knowledge. We are understanding the real knowledge of this everything. That's why it is titled as Understanding Material Nature. So we don't know what is this material nature. Do we know that how this exists? Where did it come from? What is going to happen? But Bhagavatam very clearly explains this. This is spiritual science. There is no other greater science than Bhagavatam in this world currently. Everybody is copying from Srimad Bhagavatam. Even theory of evolution is copied from Srimad Bhagavatam. All the existence is copied from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Somehow or other they got this information somewhere or some form of this knowledge. When they expanded it, they take it, this is our. But it is the Bhagavad knowledge. So this, our Veda has a section called astrology and astronomy. Veda has a section for it, which gives us everything. In earlier time, the Pythagoras theorem, most of us must have learned this Pythagoras theorem. This Pythagoras theorem, what was in our country, which was known as Sula Sutram, just Pythagoras theorem. The value of pi is already been calculated before. The value of pi. Who brought up this zero? It's in India. It's only in Bharat as part of the astronomy and astrology and mathematics. Vedic mathematics, you heard about that. Vedic mathematics. It's not convoluted. Everybody is now, all the scientists is trying to absorb this Vedic mathematics because it's very good for the computer language, machine language. The Vedic mathematics is very easy to find out. Because of supercomputer need the fast, it's not yet convoluted. This thing. So this is all diminished now because of the people, those who are attacked and taken away everything. So the real understanding of devotees in this verse, which is revealed that first of all is mentioned that Edrichaya Balabdena. Without difficulty, Balabdena, with what obtain? Sandushta, satisfied. So first of all, we have to come to a real understanding. What is our real understanding? That Jivera Surupa Hoya Krishna. That's our real identity and understanding that we are part and parcel of the Supreme. We are eternally Jiva, Mamavi Amshu Jiva Loke Jiva Buddha Sanatana Mastatran Indriyadi Prakristani Kashari. We are part and parcel of that Supreme, there is no doubt into that. So in the Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, there is a beautiful section. So this can help us actually. It says that there are 5 stages of mind. First of all, we need to understand what is mind. Okay. Have you ever thought of that? What is this mind? So mind has such a potency, it can keep it and preserve the memory, the chitta, the intelligence, the mind, everything works together. Right? There are many versions of definition of it. So first of all, we need to see what is this mind which keeps going. There is, in the Shastra, in the scientific world, it says that there is a babodha means subconscious mind. The mind which is working in front. There is a subconscious mind which is working behind in the background. Right? So this is called chitta, which carries everything, and this is, we call it as in our Shastra called settled body, Surma Sharir. Mind, intelligence and ego, the settled body or Surma Sharir. What it tells is Stula Sharir, but Surma Sharir, and this is the Stula Surma Sharir which is called settled body when a person dies and goes along with the soul, Atma. So this carries this impression. That carries, the mind carries the impression of many lifetimes. Sometimes it comes up as, the dream, and some ways or another people can go beyond it. So what is this then again in mind? It's very difficult to understand, isn't it? The scientists may came up with, the doctors or psychologists, they come up with some kind of definition of what is mind. They said these are the impression. They are also understand this impression. But this impression carries. We still remember that what is happening 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, or still remember. What carries this? So we need in the machine, in the computer or in the artificial intelligence, everything we have to feed. So this is a mechanical process of 0 and 1. There is only two things. On and off of 0 and 1, everything, combination, combination. So. But mind is not like that. Mind is not like that. So mind is very settled, very sushma, and even the soul, Atma, is more settled than the mind. Can you imagine? So this mind, again, Patanjali says that there are 5 stages of this mind. I mean, this is just the understanding of it. So what it does, see, there are sometimes our mind is it's called Shipta. The Patanjali uses this word called Shipta. Shipta means it's not focused. Sometimes here, it's called the monkey mind. Monkey mind. It goes from one jump to another, it jumps one branches to another, goes here, sometimes a little is here and there, it always goes around. Next one is called Vishipta. It's called the butterfly mind. Butterfly. Monkey mind, butterfly mind. It goes there, so it's little bit there and it absorbs what is needed from the flower, a butterfly. And then goes, it's again, same thing, going from little bit much better than the Shipta. Shipta is completely does not know what exactly he is doing. Then there is another mind is called the Mudha. Mudha is known as donkey mind. Laziness, lethargy, I don't want to do it. If somebody says, Guruji, I'll give you $1,000, no, I don't. Just see, always kind of lethargic, lazy, and does not want to do it. Does not know the aim of his life. Another mind is called Ekagra. So somebody can come to that stage of very focused, attentive. Then Patanjali gave this very beautiful, this one, there is a stage of the mind is called transcendence. It's called Niruddha. So everybody has this various stage of it. So it depends on, that's why it says that the modes of material nature or understanding material nature. The material nature is not that there's something we can say that, okay, yes, it's a physical, the gross form of the material nature, what we see it. The central form of material nature is that mind, intelligence and ego. That mind is coming to the place with the 3 different categories which is known as mode of ignorance, mode of passion, mode of goodness. Saptaguna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna. This is different stages of the mind and that we accumulate the impressions. Accordingly, the impressions which you accumulate will take birth in this world. Either the mode of ignorance, passion or goodness. So Saptaguna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna. Then behind that, then accordingly our mind works in so many ways. Donkey, monkey, butterfly, Ekagra. Then we come to that state of transcendence, a mind which is beyond. So this is the Einstein said, Albert Einstein mentioned that we don't even use our mind even 5%. The power of the mind. Even we don't use for 5% even. Ordinary man doesn't use. And the extremely intelligent person uses this for just maybe like 20% maximum. But still remaining, 80% is still remaining. This is very powerful. So why it is so powerful? It is what is Krishna says that the mind, right? The mind is my energy. Or Devi Esha Gunamayi Mama Maya Durataya, these modes of nature, the part of this Sushma Sharira. The mind is mentioned that mind is actually in which mode? Anybody? Mind is actually in which mode? Mind? Mind is actually in which mode? No.
Goodness.
Goodness. Mind is in the Sattva, actually.
If it is in Sattva, then why it is flickering here?
Yes, we contaminate it.
Oh.
We contaminate it. Mind is actually in Guna, in mode of goodness. The mind, intelligence is in which mode? Mode of passion. Intelligence is in mode of passion, and the senses are in the mode of ignorance. That's why he's always trying to see that, but I can get it from this. So mind is actually, in one sense, is pure, but we contaminate it with all those. So mind is actually in mode of goodness. So then this way, the Kapila Devi is instructing to Mother Devahudi in this verse that one should free from this ignorance. He says that sometimes he says Ugra Karma. Right? We think that just feeding or satisfying our genitals and the tongue and the belly is the sole purpose of our existence. Isn't it? It says that just to satisfy our tongue, it's very horrific actually hearing this one. There are 10 billion fishes are killed every day in this world. 10 billion, okay? The same little form of the life. There are millions of cows are slaughtered every day in this world. Millions of cows. Just to what? Satisfy the tongue. Nothing else. So they think that, and just to satisfy my tongue is the sole purpose of this. This is called ignorance. A person in the mode of ignorance and the mode of passion always endeavor for this, no matter what. Always endeavor for this. I had a colleague in my office. So they know that naturally we are vegetarians, we don't eat anything else. So one day he was asking me, how do you live without eating meat? How do you live? Because they eat meat in the morning, they eat meat in the afternoon, there is nothing else that they can eat. It's like a ferocious animal. Isn't it? They are diminishing themselves, they are molding themselves to the animal. This is what is Krishna says that we are creating our next life in this lifetime with our consciousness. What is that Krishna says? Which verse in the Bhagavad Gita Krishna says that? We are at the time of death. What happens? We are, whatever we think, what happens? We can become the next life. Which verse? In Bhagavad Gita? Antakale Chimameva Smaranmukta. That means Yam Yam Vavi Smaran Bhavam Tejjande Kalevaram Tattam Evadi Gaundaya Tadatat Bhavam. Yam Yam Vavi Smaran Bhavam. Whatever the consciousness we have at the time of death. Yam Yam Vavi Smaran Bhavam Tejjande Kalevaram. At the time of death, whatever the consciousness we have, Tattam Evadi Gaundaya. You will become that. Tamtam evadi kaundeya yadi natra na samsheha. There is no doubt in that. As Krishna says that. So this is very important, dear devotees, that what consciousness we develop, and the same text in the context Krishna says, one who remembers me and the kale chemavema sparan mukta kalevaram sa prayadis the madbhavam. Again, sada tadbhavam agatata. Anta kale chemavema. One who remembers me at the time of death, he will surely attain me, there is no doubt, and he will come to me. Andakalecha. So this is called knowledge. But rather, again, Krishna says that, and Kamaladev mentioned to that, and Prabhupada mentioned the purport, we should not simply, in an ignorant fool, to just simply day and night, morning till evening, all 24 hours a day, and not having any understanding, any proper understanding about this, our existence, our constitutional position, our identity, and simply like something in the water, just floating on the water. It should not be like that. We have wonderful opportunity as Krishna manifest as a form of representative of Krishna, manifest as Guru, Siksha Guru, Diksha Guru, and Krishna himself comes in the form of Guru to give us. He says that Tad Vijnanartham Sadguru Mebhavi Gacchit. Tad Vijnanartham. So I was mentioning about Gyan. And what is Vijnan? There is Gyan, there is Vijnan. What is that Vijnan means? What is Vijnan? The realized knowledge. So by this knowledge of the Supreme Lord and the individual, the soul, and the relationship between Sambandha, Abhidhe, and Prayojana. Sambandha is a relationship, and Abhidhe is the process, and Prayojana the ultimate goal. Then one should come to this realized knowledge. What is the realized knowledge? Again, beyond this material, beyond this Sushma, beyond this Thula, beyond this gross, beyond this material, there is another realm, there is another plane which is called spiritual plane, which is eternal. What is the nature of it? Sat Chit Ananda. Sat means eternal, Chit means full of knowledge and potency and bliss. Ananda means full of bliss. The devotees, everything manifests from that Supreme Spirit. This is the difference between in 1969 there is a scientist in Russia. Srila Prabhupada mentioned this, the purport of Bhagavad Gita. He got a Nobel Prize. So what was the findings of this Nobel Prize? He found as the antimatter. His discovery was to found that antimatter. He found an antimatter. Means which is opposite to the matter. We see the matter. So he must have found out something which is not matter, entirely the quality of that antimatter which is opposite to the matter. So he found out that. He got a Nobel Prize. Just to find out that. But the fact is that so the fact is that there is that beyond this matter. That's our ignorance. We completely stuck and bound by this matter. That's why understanding the material nature is very important, what exactly it is. So everything manifests from that supreme energy or supreme spirit. Right? So there was always a question that whether God comes into this world first. That's why in the first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam which reveals that. What is that? The first word of Srimad Bhagavatam in the Srimad Bhagavatam. First canto, first verse, first word. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Janmadi Asyayataha. Janmadi Asyayataha. Everything comes from this world, from that Supreme. Janmadi Asyayataha idara chapus avijjasura tene brahmasute adikave muhyandiya suryaha tejovari vinimaya etra sasarga marsho Dhamna Swena Nirastako become Satyam Param Dhimahi. This is from word. This is from Brahma Sutra. Vedanta Sutra, Brahma Sutra is the word. The Janma Adi Asyadaha, everything manifests from that Supreme. And what is that Supreme? It also ends with that Satyam Param Dhimahi. He is an absolute. He is an Satyam. He is an absolute. Param, the Supreme. That is absolute truth and the reality. So everything, and the Bhagavad explains this very nicely. Parasya Shaktir Vivideva Suyade. Parasya Shaktir. Everything comes from that supreme potency, dear devotees. And that same supreme potency manifested in this world as Brahman. And that same supreme potency manifested in our heart as Paramatma. There are three aspects of it. And the Bhagavad explains the same thing. Right? Vadandi tatta tad vidattattva vijnanam apayam brahmedi paramatmedi bhagavan iti shaktaye. Brahmedi paramatmedi bhagavan. That same Supreme Lord and that Bhagavan aspect is the highest realization. That's what to be Jnana. One has to realize this. When one realizes this, then what happens? He engages in the loving devotional service and understanding his material existence as well as his spiritual constitutional position. This has to understand. First of all, he has to understand that he is a spirit soul and he is in this material world, and this is where our beginning, Adado Brahma Jigyasa. That's the beginning of our inquiry, beginning of our realization, beginning of our understanding that who am I, what is my existence and how long and why it is all happening in this world. See, this is the material understanding. The purpose of Kapila Devi is revealing to Mother Devahu the understanding of material nature so that we understand our constitutional position. So when you understand our constitutional position that we are eternally part of that Supreme, that's why we can talk, we can move, we can hear, we can digest food. Everything is there are only two things in this world anyway. What are these two things in this world? Nothing else. Prabhupada Maharaj always says this. What are the two things only in this world? In this creation, all creation? Krishna and Krishnas. Two things, that's it. Everything belongs to that Supreme Potency. Everything belongs to that Supreme, but the realization that the Vijnanam is that to realize that Supreme, that he is also a person and he also has similar like form. Because of he has sight, we have sight. Because of he has intelligence, we have intelligence. Because of he moves, that we move. Because of he digests the food, that we digest. Everything comes from him. Janmadi asyadaha. Everything manifests from him. That's why Krishna says that aham sarvasya prabhavo mataha sarvam. Mama aham sarvasya prabhavo. It is not that simply a word which this has deeper realizations, and when one has to realize this, dear devotees, that's called Vijnana. One has to come to that stage of realization. But how do we come to that realization of proper understanding? By following the footsteps of the devotee. And sadhana bhakti, by practice sadhana bhakti, one reaches that stage of the realization. One has to realize this. And this is the absolute truth. This is the absolute truth. We may not see it, our spirit soul, but we experience it, isn't it? We may not see it, but I can see. I can see the spirit soul. Maybe not from within us, that we can realize within us that spirit soul, but we all can see that there is a spirit soul in each and every living entity. Right? What is the verse which reveals that? In the Bhagavad Gita, 5:18. What is that verse 5:18? Vidyavane sampane, Ramane vihastine, sapegajasvani cheva pandidas, by virtue of knowledge. By virtue of knowledge, that means we are eradicating the ignorance from our heart, from our consciousness, and come to the knowledge. In that state of knowledge, one can see that everything is part and parcel of that Supreme Lord, the energy of the Supreme Lord. And Krishna says that one who sees me in everything is very dear to me. That's why in so many places, why the devotee, why a person should free from the ignorance and he should situate in this beautiful mention here, Sandushto Minabhu Munihi. In the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna reveals this to Arjuna. Right? Generally, people are so much, these are the things, 3 things for people are so much entangled here. The tongue, what is that? The genitals, right? That Vacho, Vegam, Manasa, Krodha, Vegam. These 3 comes belly. Tongue, the belly and the genitals. These are the people who are completely entangled with these 3 things in this world. They don't have anything else. That's why they are so much. In order to satisfy your tongue, in order to satisfy your belly, in order to satisfy your genital, you are doing all abominable activities. In the 16th chapter, Krishna says this in the Bhagavad Gita. Asha paschat tader bhader kama krodha parayana hande kama bhogartam anyayartena samjaya. This asha paschat tader bhader asha, the material desires, be completely swayed into this material ocean. This is foolishness, this is ignorance, this is the root cause of suffering in this world, nothing else. So when we come to this proper understanding, the knowledge of the spiritual knowledge, our identity, our conscious understanding this material world, understanding is to take us beyond this material realm or material understanding, takes to that real proper spiritual understanding, spiritual realization that devotees, everything is eternal there. You don't have to worry that again come into this material world and suffering. So naturally the Vaishnava qualities, there are 26 Vaishnava qualities. Tidiksha, Karuniga, right? And Tidiksha, Karuniga, and then is Maitra. Mitra means we should be the frontless. the devotee is very friendly to every living entity, not even, not only human. Very karunika, very compassionate to even a small ant. This is the devotee, this is the real knowledge. Otherwise everything else is ignorance. There is a verse, there are 4 verses in 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says that this is the only knowledge, there is no other knowledge. If you take the 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, chapter verse number 8 to 12. If you remember 12. Is that 8 or is it then
What is that?
yeah? There is Krishna says that there is nothing else, that there is no other beyond this. No, there is a verse, Krishna says there is no other, this is the knowledge, there is no other knowledge beyond this. No, there is a simple verse,
Rajvidya.
No. There is another,
Which chapter it is?
no, not in 14.
This is the most confidential knowledge even than before what is the 14th chapter, I think there is verse.
No. It is very clear. Krishna says nothing else, there is nothing else that beyond this there is no other knowledge. This is the knowledge. Okay, I'll send the text. If you look into the Bhagavad Gita, it reveals that, I forgot the chapter. It's in the 8th. What is that absolute knowledge? There is a chapter called Knowledge of the Absolute. Is that the one? Yeah, Knowledge of the Absolute. 5, 6, 8, 9. These verses were together. Like 4 verses together. Okay, anyway. So it reveals that all these beautiful asses mention that. And that's the only knowledge that which we, in this world. Everything else is ignorance. It's a very powerful statement of Krishna. So it's very important, dear devotees, that we have to come to this understanding. This called, Srila Prabhupada used this word. In Hindi, what is this word called? Atma Sakshatkar, or science of self-realization. We have to come to this understanding. It's a very beautiful process. So by engaging in loving devotional service, serving the devotees, the Guru and the Lord, naturally it will come to us. All we need to do is just follow the footsteps of the devotees, engage in the loving devotional service, no matter what. Then free from all these anarthas. Like as we say, that Srila Prabhupada always says that this moment we should be regulated our life. The moment you start to eat meat and all these illicit activities, your mind will not be purified. The best way to purify our mind in this age of Kali is what? What is that best way to purify our mind? The best way to purify our mind is what in this age of Kali? Mantra. What is the meaning of mantra? Mantra. Manana trananeya iti mantra. Mana trananeya iti. Trana means overcome. So this is what is Patanjali, to come to that transcendent stage of mind, the transcendent stage of mind. Mana trananeya iti mantra. So by overcome these clutches of all, overcome these difficulties of the mind, only way that in this age of Kali can be done is through what? Through our chanting process, very powerful. So when you chant the holy name, as Rupa Goswami says in the Nectar of Devotion, and which is quoted from the Padma Purana, it says that Adas Sri Krishna Namadi Na Bhaved Na Indriya. What is that? Sevor Mukohi Chikruvadu Swayam Eva Spuradiyata. This is the process. Sevor Mukoho Jikruvadu Seva. loving devotional service to the Supreme and the devotees, what happens? It will come to us. Then all the wonderful qualities will manifest in the heart of a devotee. You know the story of Mragari. You know the story of Mragari? Mragari, the story. You know the story of Valmiki? Who were there before?
He is Mragari, right?
Yeah? No, two different. Valmiki was another. Mragari was another person. Mragari was such a ferocious, such a horrible, such a, what is called, cruel. He does not even kill. He was in the hunter, he was in the forest, he was hunt the animals. He killed the animals. He does not kill, he just half killed the animals. He killed half. So when he killed half, what happens? The animals just, they struggle for their life and he smiles and laughs at it. He get a pleasure out of it. This was a Mragari. One time Narada came there. Narada saw this. Narada asked him, you know what you are doing? Okay, why don't you kill him at once? Why don't you kill him at once? No, I kill so that they struggle for their life, so I get some pleasure and happiness. So Narada said, they goes through so much of pain, and you will also incur the same in your own next life. You have to go through the same. He's kind of shocked. The animals kind of struggle for its life. Am I the same way going to die this way? Oh my God, this is very terrific. It's very terrible. So this is the association of a devotee, dear devotees, how this changes the mind. There's potency, this called spiritual potency is there. That's why the elevated devotees they have such a power, the potency that can transform everything. Just by that. Narada said this one and clicked. Till that time he didn't even think about that one. So he asked Narada Dev, what is the remedy? What is the solution for this? I don't want to suffer like this. He said, you sit here, he gave the mantra, chant this one, and this mantra, and then this Mragari asked Narada Dev, if I sit here and does nothing, how I am going to suffer, live? I am going to die within, I don't drink, I don't eat anything, how will I am going to do this one? Narada said, you don't need to worry. It will all arranged by the Lord. So then what happened? He followed, this Mragari followed the words of the devotee. So this is a very great important lesson, dear devotee. Some devotee comes in our life and tell us to do something and we should strictly follow that. It's for our benefit. It has great potency, it carries great potency, the word of a devotee, because a devotee is not ordinary. They realize, that's it, Tatvidhi Pranipadena Krishna Sakya, Ubadeshante Dhyanam Jnaninas Tattu Darshana. They have seen the truth. This is the thing, one has to see the truth of beyond this material, the love. So then, the news went out to the village. This very notorious, very criminal, very cruel Mragari now started to chant the holy name. He's completely renounced everything. So the people were so compassionate. This one is another quality of a devotee, Paradukha Dukhi anyway. They would give. They are always compassionate and kindness. So then they started to bring the food and water, everything to this Mragari on their place. Now he is more. He realized that this is a good business, good one. So let me focus more. They focused more after many years, and Mragari is a Narada came. And he was seeing this one. There is a beautiful garden, is manifested everywhere. Now seeing that Narada is coming, this Mragari stood up, and in order to receive the spiritual master Narada, he realized everything. Understood everything, the purpose of life. Understood about his existence just by following the word and just by, chanting of that holy name. Then what happened? The Mragari stood and then ran towards the spiritual master Narada. Now on the way he saw some ants was falling. Now instead of that he catched a realization he received, and instead of catching his feet to the ant that may kill, And he was jumping up and down, going here and there, and just trying to avoid these ants on the path. And Naradev saw this one, and this was the person, one point of time, killing half the animals and taking pleasure in killing and dying that. Now here is a person who now sees that. This is called knowledge. This is called knowledge. Realization, understanding. So with this one, all the wonderful quality, that especially when we engage in the loving devotion, one can easily come out of all these problems and he will be happy. You know that there are 6 benefits of pure devotional service. You know what is the first one? The 6 benefits Guru Swami says in the Nectar of Devotion. Kleshapni. 6 benefits of pure devotional service. Kleshapni. Kleshapni means free from all the klesha agni, from all this material suffering.
Klesha Agni.
Klesha Agni. Klesha is Agni, fire. Everybody is burning in that fire. Either in the form of kama, lust, either in the form of enviousness, jealousy. Everybody is in this fire. Burning. Inauspiciousness. That's what it's called. Next one is called Subhada. It removes all inauspiciousness. Subhada.
No. Subhada means it will bring all the
all the auspiciousness will remove all the inauspiciousness and bring all the auspicious Subhada. Right? Brings the Subhada, auspiciousness. So like that, then Moksha Kuta Kuta, then Sri Krishna Akarshani, there are beautiful, it attracts Krishna, and all these wonderful benefits are there in the devotion. This is knowledge. So one should come out of it, understand the consciousness, serve in the service of the Supreme Lord and the devotees, situate, and then his journey is Gadi to the Supreme is guaranteed, and this is the real knowledge, this is the purpose of understanding this material world. So I think it's getting late. Thank you so much for being here and listening. It's a beautiful verse. So Kapila, the Supreme Lord, is revealing this. And this is the real knowledge. Nothing else is better than this. Thank you so much. Viraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srimad Prabhupada ki jai. Any comments, any questions? Anybody wants to add anything? It's kind of late, but it's good.
Prabhuji, when the baby is in the womb,
Baby is in the womb, yes.
what is his mental condition, like in Tamo, Raja or Sattva?
Wow, it's a good question. So, Srimad Bhagavatam, in this we will see that the Kabaladev, the journey of a soul, I think it's chapter 29 or 28, this reveals that. Journey of a soul. So, it is transcendent state. It's not even mode of goodness or mode of passion or mode of ignorance. It's a state of transcendence. In that state of transcendence, he can see even his past 100 lifetimes. He can see the Lord. Kapila says this. He can see the Lord, Narayana form. He can see the super soul right there. This is a state of transcendence. Not even in any mode. So then now this little child in the womb, mother's womb, pleading and praying to the Lord, oh Lord, I don't want to get into this world. Please save me. Please save me. So then, but there is no, and so Kapila says that this time the force of this material nature, the current comes and pushes the baby down to this material world. The moment the baby touches into this material world is, now it is now come to this modes of material nature. As per his task. Now he forgets everything. Now his transcendence is gone. Everything is gone. Now he touches to the material world. Now according to his past karma, then he takes that. That's why on the Namakaran ceremony, you know that in our culture, Namakaran ceremony, basically it is mentioned that on the day of 28th, the day for the baby or a boy, 27th day for a girl. So it says that we are completely coming to that our circle, that on the day of 28th, that means we bound to this material world with this pasha of this modes of material nature, Rajoguna, Tamoguna, Sattoguna. Anyway, it's a combination of all this. Then that's why we bound. We use the bracelet, right? We bound to this. As if you are bound now to this material modes of nature. Bringing, welcoming him. And then he's now. So that's why that sometimes people test that. What kind of mode he is. So people put the Bhagavatam, people put coins, people put some luxury items and tell that baby to touch. So he'll touch one of it and he will say, oh, he's a good. And it was done for Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada selected what? Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam. Touched on the Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is the way that, again, this is a fact, and Kamaladev very clearly mentioned this in this chapter. So, yes, it's a very good question, yes.
Thanks.
So birth and that soul is very pure in any case. Soul is transcendent, soul is very pure. Okay, anything? Yeah, okay.
I think the follow-up question is,
Yes,
since the baby is grown
yeah,
within the mother's womb,
yeah,
where mother is already contaminated,
yeah.
so how how he will be transcended actually?
Yeah, because of that time the power, the super soul is prominent. The soul is, not started to act anything. Its karma is not happened to this picture, right? Yes, the soul is there, it is all there, but it is what is called not dominant, it's actually, it's in a sleeping state. It's in a sleeping state. So mother's karma is there, child karma anyway, she is bringing it, but it's not started to yet activate, right? It's not activated yet. The moment he touches the word, that's it's activating it, right? So some people, some kids, or what we can say that they get miscarriage, right, in their womb, right? Some miscarriages, maybe some kind of struggles and sufferings like that. So yes, it is also again the karma comes into the place. Okay, he has to suffer, or karma is there in the sense of it. But it is depends on what kind of level of degree of karma that he has to go through. Right? Sometimes he has to suffer like anything in the womb parts. But karma, the modes of nature is all, is interlinked. But the modes of material nature generally, that which affects the baby, is when he touches into this material, again it's in the material world itself, but he is in the pure state of his consciousness that time.
Can I ask one more?
Yes.
We are part and parcel of Supreme Lord.
Yes.
So we should be in quality same it should be.
Yes.
Then why our mind asked for to be independent actually?
Yes. This is because of our impurities. So the problem is, just for an example, I'll give you this example. Dadanda Maharaj wrote in a book called Jani Home. Dadanda Maharaj said that I was not able to take shower or bath for quite some time. What happened? It accumulated so much of dirt in the body like anything. It's like a thick layer of dirt. So Maharaj then started to, got an opportunity to take shower. But I said, usually we like 10 minutes of shower, we are clean. But this was, even I was, putting the soap and rubbing. It took 2 or 3 hours to clean his all places. So what happens, Prabhuji, that we do lifetimes of karma and this, whatever that accumulated and this thick layer of it. So when there is a thick layer of it, it's very difficult to go in. It's very difficult. So there is real mercy we needed. So because of that effect of it, what happens? Then we have to go through all this. It's not that, so we have to work hard. You got that point?
I got it, still I have a couple of doubts. Offline.
Yeah. So this way, that this is the only way. Let's say Chadurmas, Chaturmas, right? By cleans the heart. By what? Then only we can see. If the mirror is completely covered with the dust, we cannot see ourselves. When it is clean, we can see. Similarly, we can clean, when we are clean, our heart and consciousness is pure and clean, Then what happens? We can see everything very clearly. That's why. That's why we are. So our endeavor is very important to cling, to rub it. No matter what, it's like 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 days, 6 months, 1 year, 20 years, 50 years. But still we have to do it. Depends on the degree of that dust that we have accumulated accordingly. We have to work hard. But we never know. But we have this opportunity as devotees somewhere or other, we are saved. We are in the same hands. Somewhere or other we have association of devotee. What beautiful temple facilities. So naturally all this cleaning process is happening. All we need to do, just be there. Like in Mumbai, right? I says that, right? The local train, in the Mumbai, if you go into the local train, it's a very crowded, right? Just be in the platform, somebody will push you in. Just be there when you want to get off, just be there in the crowd, middle of the crowd, somebody will push you out. Similarly, be there with the devotees. They will push you in. That's what the Buddha says. Just hold my dhoti. That's all. We'll take to back to Krishna. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.